Good morning to all of you. In the previous lecture, we discussed about the design of gears. Okay. In today's class, we will start with new module, that is clutches and brakes. In this clutches and brakes, okay, first we will start with clutches. These brakes and clutches are referred to the, as you know that these are referred to a high friction devices. Okay, as we can see that in the clutches, okay, there will be a friction between the two members. Okay, and similarly in the brakes also. That's why these are referred to high friction devices. And the performance analysis of these clutches and brakes involves in determination of actuating forces, torque transmitted, energy absorption, and rise in temperature. As I told you, there will be a friction, means obviously there will be increase in temperature. Okay, and whatever the torque is there, the torque to be transmitted, it is associated with the coefficient of friction. The torque to be transmitted is associated with the coefficient of friction, and uh, the actuating forces and the geometry of the device, while the rise in temperature, all these are associated with the energy absorbed. The torque, the actuating forces, geometry of the device, and while rise in the temperature, all these are associated with the energy absorbed in the form of friction due to the action of the clutches and brakes. And the torque to be transmitted is associated with the coefficient of friction. Okay, now we'll see what do you mean by clutch. As we know that in the two-wheelers as well as four-wheelers, we are going to use these clutches. Okay, what do you mean by this clutch? Uh, Clutch is a mechanism that is going to transmit the rotation of the motion from the driving shaft. This is the driving shaft and this is the driven shaft. Clutch is a mechanism that is going to allow the transmission of the rotation motion. This is a rotation motion from the driving shaft to the driven shaft, or you can call it as, it is a device which is used to engage and disengage the engine. Okay, how you are going to engage and disengage the engine from the transmission gear and the drive wheels. And this clutch is going to transmit power by means of friction between the driving member and the driven member. Here you can see that this is a driving member and this is a driven member. Means the power will be transmitted by means of friction between the driving shaft and the driven shaft. And as told you, what do you mean by engaging and disengaging? Okay, when I'm going to talk about in detail classifications of the clutches, at that time I will tell you what do you mean by this engaging and disengaging of the clutches. Okay, in this figure which you are seeing, this is the driving shaft. Okay, this is connected to the engine. Okay, this is the driven shaft which is connected to the rear wheel. And Here you can see that different components are there. You can see that these are the clutch plates. These are the clutch plate, and this is the pressure plate, and this is the spring arrangement. Okay, and on the right side of your figure, you can see the detail figure, and this is called as fly wheel. You can see that this is the flywheel, and this is the pressure plate. Here you can see that this is the pressure plate, and this is the clutch disc. This clutch disc, it will look like a CD. Okay, you've seen the CD. Okay, it is similar to the CD, and here the friction linings are going to be done on the clutch plates. Here you can see that these are the friction linings which are going to be done on the clutch plates on the clutch disc on the both the side. And this is the pressure plate, and this is the clutch cover. These are the components of the clutches. How these clutches are going to be classified? Okay, basically clutches are going to be classified into two types. One is the positive clutches, and other one is a friction clutches. One is positive clutch, and other one is a friction clutches. And in that friction clutches, two types are there. One is axial friction clutch, and other one is a radial friction clutch. Okay. First, we'll see positive clutches. As the name indicates, positive clutches. These clutches are used when positive drive is required. Okay, what do you mean by this positive drive? Means where there is no slip. Okay, there you can use this positive clutches. Okay, like example, if you use a belt drive, okay, there is a possibility of slip. Okay, whereas if you take a chain drive, okay, that we are going to call it as a positive drive. Similarly here in the positive clutches, okay, these are used, okay, when we want a positive drive is required. Okay, and the example of our the dog clutch, okay, which you're seeing. Whether it is audible for you, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. In that positive clutch, we are going to discuss about the dog clutch. Okay, and whatever this positive clutch is there, it is a simple clutch which is having square jaws. Here you can see that it is having a square jaws which are used to drive a shaft in either direction, as you have seen in the previous slide. Okay, here it is going to drive. This is driving shaft is connected to the engine, and this is a driven shaft. The clutch is going to drive this. It is a simple clutch which is having square jaws which are used to drive a shaft in either direction. And where you can use this positive clutches, okay, it is mostly used in power tillers. Okay, what do you mean by this power tillers? You have seen that in the agriculture field, they're going to use a small what do you call that? It is a like a small tractor, that is a mini tractor, that we are going to call it as a power tillers. I think you have seen those in the agriculture field. Any one of you can reply? You have seen power tillers. They will use it in agriculture field. Okay, where whatever the agriculture field is there, which is very small, as you can see in Belgavi. Usually they will use it for paddy, in that whatever the area which they are going to cultivate, it will be in terms of guntas. Okay, there they can use this power tillers, and where the land is more, okay, for the agriculture purpose, they cannot use this power tillers, where they will use the tractors. Okay, and in that they're going to use this positive clutch. And in this dog clutch, okay, this dog clutch is a type of clutch that couples two rotating shaft. Here you can see that it is going to couple two rotating. One is the driving, this is a driving, and this is a driven. Okay, dog clutch, okay, is that which is going to couple both, that is two rotating shafts or other rotating components, not by friction but by interference. Whereas in the friction clutches, okay, it will use friction to rotate the other shaft, whereas in dog clutch it will not use the friction. Okay, it is going to use the interference. Okay, how it is used, here you can see that this is a gear which is going to be locked to the other one. Okay, this is the collar. Here you can see that it is going to be locked, and as this driving shaft rotates, okay, as both are going to be locked, and the other driven shaft also rotates. You can see that in the below figure. Here you can see that how it is going to be locked. As this starts rotating, okay, it will rotate the driven shaft. And in this, the two parts of the clutches are designed in such a way that one will push the other. In the dog clutch or the positive clutch, these are going to be designed such that one will push the other, causing both to rotate at the same speed, and it will never slip. As you can see that it is going to be locked and it will not slip. That's why it is called as a positive drive. Okay, here you can see that the top I've shown the square jaw clutch, and one more is a spiral jaw clutch. Okay, this is about the positive clutches. The next one is a friction clutches. Here you can see that as I told you on the clutch disc. Okay, these are the friction linings which are going to be done on the disc. Okay, and this is the pressure plate. What do you mean by friction clutch? As the name indicates, okay, it is going to rotate. This is the driving shaft and this is a driven shaft. Okay, this friction clutch is the one which is going to turn the other, okay, by means of a friction between them. Here you can see that we are going to insert the friction clutches. As a result of that, it is going to turn, okay, the other part by using the friction between the two members. That's why it is called as a friction clutch. And this in the friction clutches, okay, it is going to produce gripping action, okay, by utilizing the friction force between the two surfaces. And these surfaces are going to be pressed together, okay, to transmit the power from the driving shaft to the driven shaft. And in the sketch, you can see that how the friction clutch is disengaged and engaged. Okay. And before we start discussing about the more about the different types of clutches, as I told you, in the friction clutches, you can see axial friction clutch and radial friction clutch. And the examples are which are the different types of axial friction clutches. Okay, plate. I think you heard about a plate or a disc clutches. Okay, this plate or disc clutches are nothing but axial friction clutches. In that, two types are there. One is single plate clutch and the other one is a multi-plate clutch. One is single plate clutch and multiple plate clutch and the other one is a cone clutch. And in radial friction clutch, the example for that is centrifugal clutch. Okay, centrifugal clutch will come under radial friction clutch. Indeed, before starting with this different types of clutches, you should understand what do you mean by disengaging and engaging of the clutches. Okay, here you can see that on the left side. Okay, this is disengaging of the clutch, and on the right side it is engaging of the clutches. Okay, and when you can say that the clutch is disengaged or the clutch is engaged. Okay, when you are going to start the engine. Okay, when you are going to start the engine. Okay, the engine will not be moving. Okay, it will be stationary. Okay, at that time the clutch will be disengaged. Okay, or when you're going to stop the vehicle. Okay, at that time disengaging of the clutch is done, or the engine is in ideal condition, or when you want to shift the gear, that is up or down. For example, if the vehicle is moving at a high speed. Okay, you are in the top gear. Now suddenly some obstacles is there in the road. What you will do, you will down the gear. At that time you are going to disengage the clutch. Okay, how you are going to disengage? Okay, disengaging nothing but here you can see that you're going to push the pedal. For example, if you are using car, okay, in that car or truck, you're going to push the pedal, or you're going to pull the lever. In the bikes, you're going to pull the lever. Okay, and the coupling between the engine shaft, as I told you, this is connected to the engine shaft and this is a gear shaft. Okay, as you are going to press the, or you're going to push the pedal, here you can see that it is the clutch is going to disengage. Okay, disengaging nothing but whatever the coupling between the engine shaft and the engine gear shaft is there, it will be disengaged by the clutch. Okay, in a simple language, disengaging means the engine shaft will be rotating, and because of friction, okay, the gear shaft or the driven shaft also rotating. When you're going to push the pedal, or when you apply the clutch, it is going to disengage, means it will not transmit the power. That is called as disengaging. Means the power will be not be transferred to the rear wheel when you're going to disengage the clutch, and engaging the clutch. Okay, when the vehicle is running. Okay, when vehicle is running continuously, that time the clutch will be engaged position. On the right side you can see that here the clutch is engaged. Okay, means here you have removed the foot from the pedal, or you are not pushing the pedal. At that time the clutch will be engaged, or the, in a simple language, when the vehicle is running continuously. Okay, you can say that the clutch is engaged, or when you can say that clutch is disengaged when the engine you're going to start the engine, or when you are completely stop the vehicle, or when you are going to up the gear or down the gear, at that time you will be using the clutch. At that time you are going to disengage, such that the power will not be transmitted from the engine shaft to the gear shaft. Here disengaging will be there. Okay, and when you are going to remove the foot from the pedal, it will start engaging, or the vehicle will be in a continuously running. I think you understood what do you mean by engaging and disengaging. Do you have any doubt here? Here you can see that it is disengaged. Here it is engaged. Do you have any difficulty in this, or you understood what do you mean by this friction clutches? The figure which you are seeing, this is a clutch disc, and this is a pressure plate. You understood this? Any one of you reply?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. This is about the friction clutches. As I told you, in the friction clutches, different types are there. That is, single plate clutch is there, and multiple plate clutch is there. What do you mean by this single plate clutch? We'll discuss that. As the name indicates, single plate, okay, means it will be having single frictional disc. Okay, a single plate clutch which is having a single frictional disc, or also known as frictional lining. Here you can see that this is nothing but the frictional lining, okay, on the disc. A single plate clutches which is having single frictional disc, which is also known as frictional lining. Okay, and this frictional lining which will be on the both the side of the frictional surface. In this we have shown only one, but it will be on the both the side. Whatever the frictional lining is there, it will be on the both the side of the frictional surface. Okay, and that is going to connect the crankshaft and the driven shaft, and which is going to transmit the rotating motion. As the whole unit, okay, as the whole unit, it is having only one frictional plate. It is having only one frictional plates. That's why it is called as single plate clutch or single disc clutch. They might call it a single plate clutch or single disc clutch. Okay, if you are having more than one, then it is called as multiple plate clutch or multi disc clutch. And all these single plate clutches are operated in a dry condition. All the single plate clutches are operated in a dry condition. As you're going to use in a dry condition, there is no need of lubricant. For single plate clutch, we don't require lubricant, as these can operate in a dry conditions. Okay, where you can use this single plate clutches. Okay, whatever the heavy motor vehicles which you see, like trucks as well as buses. Okay, all these are using single plate clutch. Okay, this is the arrangement of a single plate clutch. This is the driving shaft, and this is the driven shaft. That is, it is connected to the gear shaft. Okay, and here you can see that these are the springs, and this is the pressure cap, this is the bracket, and this is the pressure plate. Here you can see that whatever red color is there, this is the pressure plate, and this blue color is a fly wheel, and this is the clutch plate. Okay, this is the clutch plate, and here you can see that these are the friction lining on that. Okay, these are the frictional lining, and to support the clutch plate, they are going to use a support plate. Okay, in the previous slide, I've shown you the pressure plate as well as the frictional lining. This is how the single plate clutch arrangement will look like, and these are used in heavy motor vehicles like trucks and buses. This is about single plate clutch, and the next one is a multiple or multi-plate clutch or multi-plate disc. Okay, as the name indicates, it will be having more number of plates or the disc. A multi-plate disc plate clutch or multi-disc clutch is a type of clutch, okay, in which the multiple clutch plates are used. Here you can see that here we are using multiple clutch plates to make the frictional contact with the flywheel. Okay. Frictional contact with the flywheel of the engine in order to transmit the power from the engine shaft to the automobile vehicle or the gear shaft. And where you can use this multiple clutches, it is multiple clutches are used in automobiles and in machineries, okay, where we require high torque output. Okay, if you want high torque output, okay, which usually is required in automobiles and in machinery, there we can use this multiple clutches. Okay, and the examples where we'll be using this multiple plate clutches is in the bikes as well as in the scooters. Okay, and for this multiple plate clutches, okay, where what you call that term, it has some limitations. Okay, the limitations are if you see a bike or a scooter, okay, it will be having a compact gear pads compared to the uh, heavy motors like trucks and buses, where here the gearbox are compact. Okay, because of that we can use this multiple plate clutches. That's why it is restricted to bikes and scooters. Okay, and here you can see that the multiple plate clutches arrangement, how it is having a multiple clutch plates and discs. Okay, here you can see that these are the clutch discs. Okay, and these are the clutch plates. Okay, these are the clutch plates and these are the clutch discs. This is about the different types of friction clutches. Okay, and one more is there, that is cone clutches. Okay, first what I will do, I will derive the relationship, okay, for this frictional clutch, that is the torque analysis on the plate or disc clutch. After that, how the designing of this clutches will be done. After that, we can take the cone clutches. Okay, if you have any doubts up to this, you can ask me. Do you have any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay. Now, what I will do is next we'll take the relationship for the torque analysis. Okay, torque analysis of a plate disc.